What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. We have week 11 NFL predictions, and last week we balled out. We went 11-3. That might be the best that we've gotten all season. We got the upset of the week right. Of course, it was against the Saints, though. And of course, we got lock of the week right. But we don't really get those wrong around here. But we're just going to jump straight into the picks this week, starting with Thursday night football, the Bengals and the Ravens. Both of them are coming off of a loss. Both kind of dramatic losses at the end of the game. But with how much success Baltimore has had lately, despite the loss to a division rival in the Browns, who are a great team, and Deshaun Watson went off in that second half, I think with their success with the run offense, they have the best run offense in the league. I think most touchdowns and yards. Going against Cincinnati, who does not have a great run defense, I still like them to win this game. It is in Baltimore too, so I will take the Ravens. Next, we have the Steelers and the Browns. And originally for this game, I was going to pick the Browns. And yes, that means I'm picking the Steelers, but reluctantly so. Regrettably, maybe. Am I disgusted? Yeah, I'm disgusted that the Steelers might be 7-3 after being outgained in most of their games. They might have been outgained in all of them. I don't know. But I know a lot of these games they have been outgained on offense and they still win. How are they going to be 7-3? Well, Deshaun Watson is now out for the season, and DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, is starting for them. It is in Cleveland, but their third string, I guess he's their backup now, but third string quarterback coming in against one of the league's best defenses in Pittsburgh. One of the best defenses in terms of forcing turnovers in the Steelers. So somehow, some way, the Steelers are going to be 7-3. I'm still saying it. They're going to be the worst. They're the worst 6-3 team of all time. They're going to be the worst 7-3 team of all time. Give me the Steelers. Next, we have the Raiders and the Dolphins. Raiders, again, they look like a brand new team after firing Josh McDaniels. They look like they're having the time of their life in the locker room, smoking cigars. Devontae Adams is dancing. Even if he's not been going off, he's just happy to win. And Miami, they still have a crazy offense. They have a good pass rush. And those are two things that the Raiders are going to struggle with is, of course, stopping Tyreek Hill and stopping the pass rush. Their offensive line sucks. This is going to be the best team that they've played under Antonio Pierce. As much as I would like them to win, I'm going to take the Dolphins still. I don't think that the Raiders offense can keep up with them in this game because not many teams can keep up with that Miami offense. So, no disrespect to the Raiders. I think that they're doing the right thing and they should probably stick with Antonio Pierce, but give me the Dolphins. Next, we have the Bears and the Lions. Justin Fields may be playing, but the Lions are just better all around, and it's at Ford Field. I really have no reason to even want to pick the Bears except for, it's a rivalry game, but does that even matter when you're the Bears? I don't know. And matter of fact, I'm going to lock this game up because I was going to go with I'll explain it later, but I don't want to keep repeating all of these locks and upsets of the week. So give me the Lions for the lock of the week. Next, we have the Titans and the Jaguars. Maybe you can expect Derrick Henry to go run for 200 yards, even though he just had a rough game last week, because that's what he does against Jacksonville. That's what he does against the Jaguars. But Jacksonville's still winning this game. even after a blowout loss to the 49ers. But I think that says more about the 49ers bouncing back after the bye. Shows them they're still a great team. And Jacksonville is still not quite on their level despite being, a pretty competitive team. I would like to take more out of that in a positive aspect for the Niners than a negative aspect for the Jaguars, except for Calvin Ridley's been a bust this year, and it's really disappointing me because I had high hopes for him and Trevor Lawrence. Anyway, I'm still going to take the Jaguars here because the Titans are just not very good. Moving on, we have the Chargers at the Packers. Late in the year, Lambeau is a tough place to play, but the Chargers are heating up, and even if they lost last week, they still put up 38 points. Their defense just can't cover a damn soul. The Packers' struggles are leading me away from wanting to pick them. They just really have not been great this year, and I'm going to take the hot hand like I normally do for a lot of my picks. So I'm going to take the Chargers and their red-hot offense in this game, despite where it's being played. Give me the Chargers. Next, we have the Cardinals and the Texans. I kind of wanted to pick the Cardinals. I kind of wanted to roll with Kyler Murray again. But how am I supposed to pick against C.J. Stroud and the Texans that just came off another huge win, another huge day by C.J. Stroud? He did end up throwing a second pick of the season, but can you really knock him for that against a team who has the most picks this season? Besides, they might be in second behind the Saints, but Saints don't do much with that. But yeah, if it weren't for C.J. Stroud going insane, getting huge win over Cincinnati, I might have picked the Cardinals, but I'm not going to. They're just on fire right now, and I can't pick against them, so I'm going to take the Texans. Next, we have Dallas and Carolina. Now, I mentioned the lock of the week earlier. Last week, I had the Vikings with the upset of the week and the Cowboys with the lock of the week. I don't want to pick the lock of the week for the Cowboys again just because they're playing the Panthers, which they're absolutely going to decimate, and they're going to win this game. It's another cupcake game. I really wanted to lock them, but I'm not going to. The Panthers' O-line sucks. They've got zero run offense, and the Dallas offense is going crazy. All a recipe for disaster for Carolina, and looks like the Bears might be getting the number one pick. I don't know. But give me the Cowboys. Next, we have the Giants at the Commanders. The Washington pass offense has been going off lately, but they are the complete opposite of their defense, their passing defense. Their pass defense is dead last in the league. Their pass offense, in terms of yards, Sam Howell is leading the league in pass yards. So, literally night and day on each side of the ball. But the Giants might not win another game this year. They are bad. They are really, really bad. Washington they got rid of both their pass rushers in Chase Young and Montez Sweat. I know they still have Jonathan Allen, but their O-line still is absolutely awful. This may be a closer game. I know the last time they played, it was 7-14, absolute snoozer. But I think it might be a shootout is not quite the word I want to use when it has Tommy DeVito at quarterback. But I think that Washington's defense is definitely capable of giving up a shootout kind of game. So I'm still not picking the Giants. I'm picking the Commanders. I can't pick the Giants. Next, we have the Buccaneers and the 49ers. Baker is quietly having one of the better years of his career so far, but San Francisco might be derailing that just for a weekend. They decimated Jacksonville last week, and I expect a similar result here. They're not as good of a team as Jacksonville, and despite, they've actually had a pretty decent offense in terms of through the air. On the ground, they suck, but either way, I don't think they're going to find much success in either facet, so give me the Niners. Next, we have the Jets and the Bills, and as much as I want to be surprised about the Bills, which I am a little bit, I kind of called it. I told you, if you watch my trick or treat video, I ended the video with saying the Bills are a trick. They turn the ball over too much. That's exactly what's been losing them these games. And the 12th man on the field, that was just redonk. They struggle with turnovers, and they're playing a great defense. But the team with the great defense has an offense that cannot find the end zone. If you can't find the end zone, you can't put up points. And if you can't put up points, you can't win games. So as much as I would like to pick the Jets to sweep the Bills, I'm not going to. I'm going to pick the Bills. Next, we have the Seahawks and the Rams. Seattle is back on track offensively, but defensively, not so much. The Rams before the bye had 2 back-to-back blowout losses because of their offensive struggles. They are getting Matthew Stafford back, but I don't really think that's going to be enough for them to win. They did win week 1 in Seattle, and it is in LA. I don't know if SoFi is really a spot that has a lot of home field advantage. I don't think it is, but almost 400 yards passing for Geno Smith. I think they can capitalize off of that, ride a little bit of momentum. Give me the Seahawks. Next, we have Minnesota and Denver. So, like I said last week, they were the upset of the week. The Vikings were over the Saints. Can't believe that's one of the 3 that I've gotten right all year. But both teams are catching fire as of late. So I'm not upset that this is on primetime, actually. Believe it or not, I'm not too upset or disappointed that the Broncos are in a second primetime game in a row. But the Vikings, despite being on a 5-game win streak, I think, are dogs. They're underdogs to the Broncos, who are also on a 3-game win streak, I believe. But with how electric their offense has been, especially with the Pastronaut, Joshua Dobbs, a new addition to my fantasy team. I might have given up a little bit too much for him, but I'm desperate out here. I'm just really trying to make playoffs. I don't want to be involved in the punishment. That would really suck ass. But the Broncos defense has been stepping it up lately, so this could be a pretty good game. But I'm going to go with the Pastronaut. I'm going to go with the Vikings. And since I didn't take the Cowboys as the lock of the week last week, or this week, because I didn't want to be repetitive, I will be taking the Vikings as the upset of the week because they are underdogs. I think it's at 3.5 right now. 3.5 point favorites for the Broncos. So give me the Vikings in the upset of the week. Closing it out for Monday, we have Philly and KC. Super Bowl rematch. A game that is really hard as fuck for me to pick. But Philly just looks better all around. I think that KC has not looked like the KC of old. I wouldn't say that the Eagles really look like last year's Eagles either. But I just think that all around they look better. A.J. Brown's having a crazy season. Their offense is still intimidating. Their defense not as stiff, but KC's offense has been struggling a little bit more. The story for them has been more of their defensive success, but I'm going to go with a shot in the dark. Give me Philly. Well, that is the video. Those are my Week 11 predictions. Let me know who you have down in the comments. Let me know if you agree, disagree, all that. I did recently come out with a new concept video. If you want to check that out, go check my channel or the link description in the box below. Probably going to pop up in a square right here eventually. But yeah, until the next video, I believe it should be a predictions video next. Not sure. But until the next video, deuces.